Elmo on Sesame Street. Do you know Big Bird, Big Bird, Big Bird? Do you know Big Bird? He's friends with Elmo on Sesame Street. Do you know Abby Cadabby, Abby Cadabby, Abby Cadabby? Do you know Abby Cadabby? He's friends with Elmo on Sesame Street. Do you know Grover, Grover, Grover? Do you know Grover? He's friends with Elmo on Sesame Street. Do you know Oscar the Grouch, Oscar the Grouch, Oscar the Grouch? Do you know Oscar the Grouch? He's friends with Elmo on Sesame Street. Is it just me or is it speeding up? Do you know? I don't know any of the characters from Sesame Street. Good morning, Julie Flanagan. Good morning, Rich Goozy. Good morning, Greg. Good morning, Bozo the Clown, G. Basio, Rosa Marie Johnson, RJ, Monica, Rich Goozy, Greg, Diana, Sandra Lynn, good morning to you. It works to groceries. Brian Sherman has a pressing question, a little too early for me. I don't know what's cheaper for groceries, Target or Walmart, Brian Sherman. I don't know. I never shop at Walmart. I would guess Walmart is very competitive on the grocery prices. They're very reasonable, but I do appreciate the question. Hello, user. Hello, Darlene. Hello, The Big. Hello, Susan. Hello, Detour. Hello, Ashley. Hello, Edward Lynch. I might just do this. Hello, Tom Gauthier. Hello, William Model. Philip Creel. Jack Phillips. Pedro Padilla. I love throwing in a extra accent when I'm saying hello. Thank you, moderator RJ. Hello, Melissa. Hello, a bunch of hearts. You guys mind if I just peel a little bit of an orange? It's kind of chilly out today. It's kind of chilly out today. I'll say it one more time. It's kind of chilly out today. Good morning, good morning. Good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It's a little show I've been doing for quite some time. It's a show about me kind of talking. It's a show I started 4.5 years ago. Not quite 4.5 years ago, it'll honest. I've been saying 4.5 years for quite some time. Good morning, Tara Jacobs. But it'll be 4.5 years right around Christmas time, but let's round up. But anyway, it's a show I started when I was living in a dark apartment. I don't like that you can see the wires on my house. I'm going to go back here. Should I do my show like this? Just kind of leaning over a little bit. Kind of hunched over, getting a crick. Hello, Heather Odell. But anyway, it's a show I've been doing a long time. It's a show I started. I'm trying to get it just right. I'm leaning against a little potted plant, and its leaves are hanging down in my camera. I'm going to keep working on this here. Let me see if I can do this without causing too much trouble. Hang with me. Not getting any younger. Lifted up a whole table. Fortunately, I still see the cords. I like the cords. But anyway, there's the cords again. It's chaos. I'm causing more. A lot of times I've realized in life, when we try and fix something, see, we end up making the problem worse. We just ignore it and roll with it. That's pretty good, except my chair's wobbly. But anyway, it's a show I've been doing a long, long time. It's a show about me talking, sharing some ups and downs, sharing wobbly chairs, sharing little bits of oranges, big sips of water. It is a rough morning, Sandra Lynn. You don't know the half of it. Good morning, Shannon. But it's a show that I enjoy doing a lot, and I go live every morning at 8 o'clock here on TikTok, and thank you for joining. But for those that have been watching a while, you know it's not just a show about me talking. For those that have been watching a while, hello, Shannon. you know, it is also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, you guys saw it here. You saw it just a moment ago. Excuse me. I have a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me, and I am so excited to take my first sip. Good morning from Cobb County. What cities does Cobb County have in it? I guess I can only think of a couple cities in Georgia. I got a viewer from Cobb County, Georgia. I'm kind of curious, is Cobb County Atlanta? Is it Athens? And then I started thinking, how many cities do I know in Georgia? And it's not very many. Good morning, Tilly from Texas. Cobb salads are good. But anyway, as I was saying, good morning, Janie. This is a show about me sharing my love of coffee as well as a show about me talking. And with that in mind, I got a nice hot cup of coffee. And I am excited to have my first sip. And I'm hoping wherever you are, whatever you're doing, that you have a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. We decided to mix it up a little bit. Preparing the coffee this morning. And again, we get up early here, or fairly early, but we slept in today, and it was kind of chaotic. It kind of created, thank you for the rose, everlasting bloom. It kind of created I was at total peace, but the house seemed to be a little more chaotic than I'd like. And our oldest missed the bus, and I had to drive him. I didn't have to drive him. Tracy Wilson, thank you so much for following the live creator. And this is something I'm working on. Words matter. And a moment ago, I said I had to drive our oldest to school, which is about a 5-mile drive, round trip at maybe 20, 25 minutes. If you change one word and change that you have to do something to you got to do something, it just feels so much better. And I know I talk about this a lot. I've done videos on it, but it is true and it is important. And if I look back on driving him to school, with a have to attitude, I go, that sucked. He wasn't very talkative. I wasn't at home on the couch drinking my coffee for 25 minutes. But if I look at it as I got to drive him to school, I think about the pretty day it was and watching the leaves change and the fact that I listened to some music and heard some interesting things on the radio. And it really changed my perspective. And again, it happens immediately. So, but anyway, it was a chaotic morning in our house. Do you ever do editing at Mariano Starbucks? No, I have before. The Mariano Starbucks I could walk to. I appreciate the question. I get to. It changes outlook. It really does, Janie. I have been to Mariano's, that Starbucks. I don't actually sit at the Starbucks. They have that neat area. Mariano's, I don't know if it's a national chain or what have you. But it is a great place to go grab lunch. They have an awesome salad bar. They sell it by the pound or by the ounce, I guess. They also have hot foods. You can get pizzas. You can get oysters. You can get sushi. You can get sandwiches. You can get donuts, which remind me, I'm a little hungry today, so I brought out a little extra packet. But anyway, I was talking about the coffee. I've talked so long. I need to re-experience my first sip. So I'm going to pretend this is my second first sip. I'm not pretending it's my second first sip, it might actually be my second first sip. Cheers to us. You guys are talking about how good the sushi is at Mariano's. That might not be a bad place for me to dine at lunch today. But anyway, made a pot of coffee this morning. We slept in, caused a little chaos in the house, but I felt at a deep level of peace because I got probably more sleep, deeper sleep than I have in a while. Had a cool dream near the end. I know it's really boring to talk about the dreams, but I was in some military training course, And I won the competition for keeping your legs elevated and working your tummy. And it's because I've been working out lately, and I won some award, and it was pretty cool, and everyone thought I was awesome. And then I won the next event, and we were in a bus or a military transport vehicle out to some dangerous event. And for some reason, Tom Brady, the quarterback, the former quarterback of the New England Patriots, was sitting on my lap, and he looked frightened. And I told him, "Don't worry, Tom. I'll lead us out of this." And he goes, "But I was 5-time winning Super Bowl champion or whatever. How many times you won?" I go, "Yeah, but I'm a natural born leader, Tom. We'll be okay." And I think he felt a little better with my confidence. Have I ever been to Gordon Ramsay's new restaurant? No, I have not. You're right. He also played for the Buccaneers. But by the time he got to the Buccaneers, my interest in football started waning. Somebody saying I look like Bruce Willis. Thank you so much. Yeah, but it was very vivid. And again, Tom Brady was sitting on my lap. And I was soothing him and telling him I'd be the leader. Felt kind of good. So I woke up feeling really cool. Like, A, I was great at holding my legs up. And B, I was so confident. I held Tom Brady to make him feel okay about life. Tudor Atwood wants to know if I'm a Bears fan. I care so little about professional sports at this moment. I believe the Cubs were in a playoff race at the end, and I was at a thing on Friday night. A friends kind of had a dinner party, and they were all watching the game and worried that the Cubs were or were not going to make the playoffs, and it just kind of felt good to not care about it, and felt good to not really care about it. And the Bears were on Sunday, and I'm sure I had a lot of friends that were watching the game, and I think they might have lost and probably were frustrated and maybe drinking beer or at a bar or doing whatever. And I was at the gym and barely caring that the Bears were on. And so much, it's just weird. Again, I think I might have been getting a little tired of professional sports. How about them apples? I was getting a little tired of professional sports. And when I stopped drinking about 2 years ago, I think that was the really ended my love affair with sports, because the last reason to hang on was it was a good excuse to get together with your buddies and drink a bunch of beer. And now I don't drink beer anymore. So I've ruined that, even that aspect of the whole sporting thing. But the amount of time I would spend watching games and it's just amazing. You watch a 3-hour game on Sunday and just say a 3-hour, my favorite team is Illinois, on Saturday, their football team play. You know, that's 6 hours. And that's not counting pre or post sporting events or watching another game or driving to and from the bar where you're going to watch the game or whatever. And I'll tell you what, you find you can get a lot of stuff accomplished in life when you stop watching the news. You know, you cut back on sports, and I'm not suggesting anybody do. I'm just saying it's cool for me. Tilly, thank you so much for following the Live Creator. You start going to church, you start walking your dog, you start creating a business that gives you an opportunity to live the life of your dreams by creating content on various social media platforms. You start learning things. You start driving your kid to school. You start working out. You go into the gym, hanging out with people that are doing positive things for them. And again, I don't know. I had realized a few years ago I had a lot of work to do. And, good call, Sandra Lynn. I had a lot of work to do. And I started doing it. And it's kind of been a fun adventure. And that's what Coffee with Ken is about, just kind of sharing my adventure that is me going through stuff. Is the Rainforest Cafe still there? I think the only place I remember the Rainforest Cafe was at the shopping mall up in Hoffman Estates or Schaumburg or wherever it was. And I do not know if it's still there or not. What was my donut choice yesterday? Well, Sandra Lynn, for the record, I woke up, as I was driving our oldest to school today, I remembered that we bought donuts. But I did not remember finishing the donuts yesterday. So I tried to FaceTime my wife while I was in the car saying, hey, do we have any donuts left? I want one when we get back. And I totally forgot to do that. I totally forgot to do it. RJ said he had an apple fritter yesterday. I love the apple fritter. Mariano's was sold out of apple fritters. But for those that feel bad that I may be too late to get any extra donuts that may still exist in this house, which I doubt there are any extra donuts that still exist in the house. My first donut, and Mariano's has great donuts. They're amazingly fresh and squishy and what have you. They're just wonderful. And a little bigger than the Dunkin' Donuts kind. I got, my first donut was the French cruller, which I don't know if you know. It's kind of a funny, it's a ring, but it's got a lot of texture to it and a lot of shapes and crevices in it. And it's kind of glazed over and it's light and fluffy and there's like big air pockets inside and it almost melts in your mouth. My second donut. Oh yeah, there wasn't just one donut. Don't change the channel because there's more to the story. I went for a Boston cream and oh, let me tell you, their Boston creams are delicious. Some places they might skimp on the cream that is inside the Boston cream. Oh, Mariano's doesn't. It was almost more than I can handle and almost kind of glopped on my face and got my fingers sticky. And for those that know me well, I do not like sticky. I don't like sticky at all. But as I sat there and thought about my morning and what I had on the rest of my day, I go, hey, maybe, just maybe, I have room for one more. And oh, yes, I did. I went for another French cruller, but this time it had a light chocolate on the top. And it was delicious as well. Oh, yeah, I had 3 donuts yesterday. Honestly, I'm a little bummed we don't have any more. But don't worry about me again. I got a Pop-Tart of some flavor and an orange. I was thinking about it yesterday as I ate one of these oranges, and it did absolutely nothing for my appetite. If you could get all your other vitamins and fiber and protein that you needed, could you survive on oranges? Like, are there enough calories in an orange? Because I was thinking about it. When I was a kid, my mom might have said, oh, have a snack, have an orange. I don't know. I mean, maybe an orange is a snack in that it satisfies your need for fluids or sweets a little bit, because it is kind of sweet in kind of a tart sort of way. But there's really no ability to fill up eating oranges. I have a backup orange, but I know in advance, and these are just little ones. These are cuties, and they're adorable. They peel well, and they taste delicious. Cray-cray. She died. There was a documentary about a girl who only ate apples because she was cray-cray, and she died. Well, don't worry about that, me. Do I get a Pazik on Fat Tuesdays today? I don't even know what Fat Tuesday is. Am I a Gemini? No, I am not. It's interesting you asked that, Tilly. I was at Starbucks the other day, and there was a lovely young lady with the name, I forget what her name was, and at the end she had a symbol of some sort, and I go, tell me about the symbol. And she goes, oh, I'm a Gemini. That's the symbol of the Gemini. And I believe the Gemini are the twins in astrology, but no, I am not a Gemini. You got, bananas are a good value. Bananas are a hell of a value. Bananas are a hell of a value. My job at our home, I have several jobs, but my grocery job is to make sure we're never out of bananas or coffee. And I'm pretty good at it. I obviously have a show called Coffee with Ken. I wouldn't want to run out of coffee. But I'm also a big lover of bananas. And our babies love bananas. For those that are new to my show, good morning, Cynthia Lewis. And hand soap. My responsibilities have grown. For some reason, this household struggled with keeping hand soap in stock. Doesn't seem particularly challenging, and I don't know. I felt a kind of a rewarding experience because you can buy these little bottles of hand soap for like $1, or it might have been $1.25 yesterday at Mariano's when I went. And oh yes, I rode my scooter to the store. And I'll have you know, my shopping didn't stop there. What else did I get? I got a 6-pack of Beck's non-alcoholic beer because I thought we might be doing some yard work in the yard yesterday. We didn't. But anyway, they won't go bad. And I don't know, there might have... Oh, I bought 2 tubs of ice cream. I like to be popular in the family. And I find the surest way for all the kids to think I'm cool is by bringing ice cream home. Sometimes when I'm feeling super elite... Let me drink a little coffee. Thank you, Tilly, for sending the rose. Sometimes when I'm feeling super elite and holier than thou and more deserved than the rest, I'll buy my wife and I each a tub of Ben & Jerry's. And the kids know that those are off limits. But I mean, I always feel a little bad. And I don't know. So yesterday, I decided to get 2 tubs of ice cream. One was I know you guys must want to know, it's the mint, the green kind with the chocolate chips in it. What's it called? Mint chocolate chip? Maybe that's what it's called. And I think I bought another tub of cookies and cream. And our oldest girl, I cannot tell you the size of bowl she made. I was shocked. It would have seemed like something one of her brothers would have done, or something maybe I would have done if it was a few years back and I was still smoking, if you know what I mean. But she packed so much ice cream into that bowl. It was really quite excessive. Mint chocolate chip, yeah, that's right, it was. What's the best peanut butter, Ben? What's the best peanut butter, Ben & Jerry's? How would I know? I would never, ever, ever get peanut butter, Ben & Jerry's. Edie's is probably solid ice cream. I'm going to have a little nibble on my Pop-Tart. I hope that's okay with you all. By the way, and I talked about it a few days ago, about this horrid accident I found on my patio. This orange sports car I found tipped over in a rut on our patio between 2 slabs of rock. And I was worried about potential loss of life and the tragedy that was this car wreck. And the mud is still on this car. And I'm going to be actually proactive and clean it up a little bit, because I'll bring my kids out here. And the kids like to play with the car, but over the last several days, I haven't wanted to give it to them because it was covered in mud. I'll tell you what, I like when nature takes care of things. So I was kind of hoping we'd get a little rainstorm and it would clean up the car without me having to do the work that I just did. But yes, this is a cinnamon maple or sugar Pop-Tart, and I'm going to take a little nibble on it. I would love a jar of spicy pickles. RJ just offered me a jar of spicy pickles. That actually sounds really good. These are so good. These are so good. For those that are watching, you know I was working at Super Target for 7 months. For 7 months. I had somebody text me this morning, and they say, why no more Super Target? And I didn't want to get in a long text exchange with them, and decided to just tell them a lot of reasons. But there's a lot of I am backtrack days. There are a lot of reasons that I no longer work at Super Target. But one of the reasons I wish I still worked at Super Target was the access to all the pumpkin pie Pop-Tarts that I had. I was in charge of the cereal aisle. I like to think it was the best aisle in the whole store. I think it was the most fun. It had the most energy. I think it was, the inventory was solid, but I think when I was working there, I think the cereal boxes were where they were supposed to be. It's amazing when customers will go through a store how much they can mess up a cereal aisle or any aisle. And nothing as a customer, I mean, there's other things that bother me more, but as a customer, I always would note when things were messed up in a store, and I'd always kind of look down on it, and if there was something laying on the floor, I would tend to pick it up and put it back where it went. And I like to think I ran a tight ship in the cereal aisle. Someday I'm going to have to go back and see how it looks, see how it feels, see who they have manning the cereal aisle. I bet it's a tall employee, because on the top row of the cereal, it's kind of hard to access. And every once in a while, we'd have like a 4'11" woman come through, and she's looking up, and I'd make some witty joke about that's why they hired me, because I'm tall enough to reach the top thing, and I'd be a hero. Oh, thank you, Ken. Thank you, Ken, for getting that box of Crave cereal. They had cereals I wasn't even familiar with. Wait, I had something on my head. Sandy Shepard sent a heart. She hearted me. Do they hire young people with special needs there? They do at the mine down here. Shannon, I wouldn't say not particularly. I don't think they have a rule against hiring kids with special needs, but looking back, I don't think there was any kids there with special needs working at my Super Target. I'm sure they wouldn't not do it. I think some stores are a little more proactive at that cause, and yeah, so. Julie Flanagan, I'd pick you up some pumpkin pie Pop-Tarts and drive them up to you if I still work there. I gotta get me some pumpkin pie Pop-Tarts. Jewel makes a point to hire people with special needs, says Everlasting Bloom. That's too bad. Respect to the ones who do. Yeah. Met a woman yesterday. A young lady was sitting next to me at Starbucks, and she is a kindergarten teacher in Plainfield, which is the suburb just pretty much south of where I live. And she was a young lady who's a kindergarten teacher who specializes in special needs. And I think she's following my page. I think she's following me on TikTok. I wonder if she's watching me right now. But nice young lady, and had such a passion for her job. I have a son with Down syndrome named Augie, and I just started telling her a little bit about him, and I could see her eyes kind of watering up in a way that my little quick story impacted her. And she went on to say her dream one day is to adopt a child with special needs, and she loves her little ones, and she has little pet nicknames for the kids in her class. And I told her how I call my son Augie my little nugget of love, and she started sharing with me some nicknames she has for some of her kids. Augie, I'll be honest with you, hasn't been as much a nugget of love lately. He's been problematic. I mean, he's 2.5. They say terrible twos, but he runs around and knocks things over, and will wrestle with his sister and run around looking to make a mess. We love him just the same, but I'm going to have to start working on a new nickname if he loses the title of my little nugget of love. But no, he'll always be my little nugget of love. One day he'll be 20 years old, and he'll be sitting on my lap and way more than his daddy does, and I'll be cuddling him. And if he's 20, I'll be, how old will I be? 72. Still drinking my coffee, maybe still talking to you guys, and saying, oh, my little nugget of love. My little nugget of love. Let's see, mustache. Hey, a hat and mustache. Well, that's so sweet. That is so sweet. I made what I thought was a very adorable video the other day. When you have a little one on you, like in your lap, my son Augie and I were cuddling in this very same spot. And I believe it was probably RJ that sent me the hat and mustache. That's something he's very generously does, and I think enjoys seeing me what I would look like with a mustache. But anyway, all of a sudden, Augie and I were sitting there with hats and with mustache on, and Augie had a pacifier, and I thought he looked so cute, and I made a really sweet little video out of that. Last night, before I went to sleep, I found another video with Eve and I ending up wearing, Eve's my little angel that is almost 1 year old, and I think I was holding her in a diaper, and all of a sudden, she and I were both wearing hats and mustaches, and she looked pretty cute, competing for the #1 fan. Well, Sandra Lynn, I appreciate a little competition. The more competition we can get, the better. Maybe we can create a frenzy. I realized something yesterday, and again, I talk about it a lot. I'm growing my social media presence. I think one can only go live so often in a day, and a couple times this week. Once was at a meet on Saturday. I went live on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram, and on 2 different pages on Facebook. So I did 5 live videos in the morning. And yesterday, I did my typical show here on TikTok at 8 o'clock. And thank you guys for watching yesterday. Then I flipped over to YouTube, went live. Then I went and worked out. I did a live video, Thoughts from the Gym. I did a live video in downtown Naperville. And then I did a live Reflections of the Day in the afternoon. And by the end, I really had nothing to say. I really had very little to say. And when I have very little to say and my audience, like what's nice about being on TikTok and going live on TikTok, right now there's 41 people watching and the conversation can kind of keep going. But on YouTube in the afternoon, I might have had 5 or 6 people there. And people were a little quiet, and probably since it was a smaller crowd, more intimate group, we had less conversation. And I was just sitting there. And I had nothing to say. So I don't know what my point is. I'm trying to figure it out and working on some things and tweaking some things. But I'm probably going to intentionally go live a little less because I want to enjoy it. And I want it to be fun. And I want to have something to say. And I don't want to feel like I'm making up conversation or what have you. And I felt that a little bit yesterday. And I'd rather not feel that way because I really enjoyed doing this. And I appreciate you guys for joining. And I want to have, am I going on YouTube after this? Should I go on YouTube after this today? Should I flip over to YouTube right now and hop on live? I guess I will. I'm going to go on YouTube here in about 3 minutes. I'm going to drink some coffee. I'm going to probably nibble on some Pop-Tarts during the break. Can you set your October Kenathon date? Well, RJ, I don't know. Maybe I can. You guys know I go back and reclip these videos. And I did a Kenathon almost 3.5 weeks ago. A Kenathon is such a vain way to describe a 3-hour me talking to the phone. But oh yeah, I did. And I am at the point right now where I need to start editing that Kenathon. That's how far backed up I am on my videos. And I'm going to, let me tell you, to edit a 3-hour live video, it's going to take me a couple days. It's a lot to do. It was nice to meet you. Thank you for being you. Hey, Tilly, thank you for joining. And, yeah, thank you for joining. Well, Stuart, I can say that, sure. I don't know if Stuart's teasing me or not. I'm proud of you, Stuart, and I love you. I guess I do special requests. How was Erin's homecoming dance? I don't know. I don't think she and I have talked since I dropped her off and she was going to homecoming. She was supposed to send me pictures. I don't think she has. I haven't heard. I did not talk to her yesterday. I hope it went well. She was kind of in a grumpy mood. I hope she got over it. But anyway, let's have a little more coffee. I'm going to wrap this up here. I'm going to hop on YouTube real quickly. If you are watching, please follow me over there. Or if you have some time and you want to drink a little more coffee, she does. And I'm going to pop on YouTube just for maybe 10 or 15 minutes and see if I have more to say. But I am trying to build that platform. I think it's the best for me long term to kind of build a business around and eat pickle and peanut butter sandwich. I don't know why. Is anybody else out there think that pickles and peanut butter sound good together? I mean, I like pickles. I don't even like peanut butter. So, I don't know. It sounds yucky. Kenergy, you have a wonderful day as well. And again, I'm going to sign off here, and I'm going to hop on YouTube in about 3 minutes or so. I so appreciate you guys for joining me on this Monday morning. It's going to be a beautiful day here in Naperville. I hope it's beautiful where you're living. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you're excited about the week ahead. I hope you're loving yourself. I hope you are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.